I thought I was having music. I am a barnacle.
Ooh. A pretty barnacle.
Nora Barnacle, famous for being the wife of... Oh, thank goodness you're my sort of audience. James Joyce. I'm the wife of James Joyce. This morning on the radio, I heard this guy saying, W.B. Yeats was good, he was a poet, but Joyce was a genius. Now, it was on radio, but I knew he was doing that, because people were always saying he was a genius, when I was the genius in our relationship. Now, I am a barnacle, and you may wonder why I've got this name. When the English speakers came to our land, Galway, in the windy west of Ireland, they gave us their language. They did and they didn't. We spoke our own language, Gwacha, and their language at the same time. And goose people who lived on the edge, they took names in Gaelic, like Klein or Cohan. So Kevin Klein is a goose. Yeah, none of you know who he is. He was an actor. He still is an actor. But my great-great-grandpa went, if I'm doing this, I'm doing it properly for my people. We are going barnacle goose, because the barnacle geese, the barnacles are magical. A barnacle is... Who knows what a barnacle is?
A limpet. It's a limpet.
They're underneath ships and they're on rocks, they're mysterious things. But our friend, the Lepretians, they helped us become barnacle geese. The Lepretians, everybody. Oh, I forget, I'm in a foreign country. The leprechauns. They got the eggs out of the barnacles and turned them into geese. So, as I say, that's how my great-grandpa picked our name, because he knew backward and forward, and so do I. Because he said, if we were barnacles, we sounded very English, sort of like the Rees-Mogg family. Or even, we would not only be members of golf courses in the west of Ireland, we would be buying them, thereby stopping that very bad man, and I'm not going to swear, young people, but he's a very bad man, Donald Trump, buying that golf course. Yeah, thank you. And but we still have our other Gwacha. It's just such a funny word, isn't it? Gwacha people, because Kelly Badenoch got on the kneecap boys, didn't she? Saying they were saying bad things in Gwacha language. Now, she wasn't bothered about that before they got battered by reform in the local elections. Really? But I've got something to tell you now, which people don't know. She's not going to be head of the Tory party for much longer, and she's definitely never going to be a Prime Minister. She has now decided to become the manager of Kneecap, because after she said that, they sold out a whole thing at Brockwell Park, 20,000 people in 90 seconds. Kemi, she is their manager. Anyway, back to me. Now, I then went, Jimmy and I, we went all over the place. Switzerland, Holland, Paris, doing our thing, where people were saying he was a genius. Now, I don't know if you know what he looks like, but he was very thin. Felt the cold terribly, he did, and had very thick, round glasses. He was really as blind as a bat. He couldn't see anything, and people doing their PhDs though, oh yes, he was saying all this stuff, wasn't he, about how things felt and sounded, because he couldn't really see anything. So I, having to keep the family together, we had a son and a daughter. Once they were your age, not anymore, so I would have to do knitting, and I'd have to get the cheap wool. The red and white wool was always the cheapest wool. So I would knit him a jumper, because he was always cold. And I'll give you another Gaelic word now, gansey. A gansey is a jersey that fishermen wear. And I'd have to make him one of those little hats, not a hat as good as mine, but a little hat, a little pom-pom hat in red and white. And so, while he was doing this thing, Ulysses, the greatest work ever written, according to some people, it takes place on one day in Dublin. And the day is the 16th of June, 1904. And so he was writing about these two guys moving around. But at the same time, I was writing my own book, set in the same time, in the same city. And I made a fortune from this book, and I'm going to show you what the book is.